Hello and welcome everyone. Let's start today's current affair. Yesterday, Prime Minister have addressed the nation and he not only just informed what we did, why we did, he also informed or let us know what we are going to do in the future. And he also clarified certain things. First of his speech, no more nuclear blackmail. Every time since 1998, when India and Pakistan become nuclear, every time Pakistan is trying to do this tactic of blackmailing India. If India will take any military action, we will not hesitate to use nuclear weapon. This is a rhetoric in Pakistan. Even a block level politician in Pakistan always mention this thing. And we have shown them a mirror. What you are trying to blackmail us, we are not bothered with this kind of the blackmail. We will hit you as per our will and wish when you will provoke us. This is a kind of message India has given in that 4 days of conflict escalation. India has hit with the pinpoint accuracy their Air Force bases. Though there is an unconfirmed report going in the international media and many vloggers, even bloggers, they are having this discussion and they are not just a kind of a talk. They are talking on the basis of certain confirmed things. However, when the question was asked to our armed forces people, when they are press briefing, they have outrightly denied that in the sarcastic way. They are not aware of this thing, they have their nuclear installation in Karana Hills and we are not aware of this such kind of thing. Anyways, overall, India has clarified that we are not bothered with your nuclear blackmail. We will take all necessary military action which is required in order to make sure you will not dare to do such kind of the thing. So, no more nuclear blackmail. We are not bothered with that. What is your nuclear posture? If you will try to hit India and Indians in India or anywhere, then the people who are going to try this, they will be punished, their handlers will be punished, and the country, the nation who is backing to them, they will be also punished. In this way, India also have conveyed, though it is not categorically mentioned, but India has given a kind of a signaling if any terror attack will happen in India, then India will take this terror attack in future as an act of war. So why this term is very important, act of war. If you will see what happened after Pulwama, after Pahalgam attack. What happened after Pahalgam attack? India went for precise hitting only to the terror network. And after hitting those terror network, India has clarified to DGMO of Pakistan that we have not hit the military installation, we have hit only terror camps. But once you declare that this is an act of war, means you have raised a war against India, then India have a full right to hit all the military installations directly. So in the context of recent India's attack in the terror network, India has precisely targeted only terror networks. When Pakistan has escalated, India has reciprocated. But now, if any terror attack will be happen on India, and India will consider as a act of war, and in that situation, we will not only hit the terror network, we will also do the same thing with all military installation of the country who is supporting those terror network. So this is a message from India in context of act of war. Another important question Prime Minister have addressed in his address to the nation. He said that this Operation Sindoor is not over. It is just paused. Means once if any kind of the terror attack is going to happen on India, then India will hit back, and India will hit back hardly. And this time, this attack will be considered as an act of war. And then there will be huge response from India. So what we have initiated, that is not a one-time activity. It is a new normal. Means from now, India will respond in the same way what we have responded after Pahalgam attack. So India has set a tone. India has set a doctrine for future. And the doctrine says that we are going to be offensive against any kind of an attack or any kind of a terror attack on India. So in this way, Prime Minister have conveyed this thing. So no nuclear blackmail. Operation Sindoor is not over. It is just a pause. It will be started again if Pakistan or any terror group will try to dare any kind of the terror activity in India. As we know that on 9th of May, Pakistan DGMO have called India and requested for ceasefire, which was accepted by the India. And on that same day, it was decided that next DGMO talks will happen on 12th of May. So yesterday, again, the DGMO talk, the Director General of Military Operation talk happened between these two countries. And under that talk, both countries have shown their willingness to decrease the presence of military personnel at border in order to further de-escalate. In this context, I would like to let you know the term known as hotline. So generally, DGMOs of two countries, India and Pakistan, they have hotline communication. Now in this context, what is hotline communication and how it works? Suppose, take a scenario. Consider this fact, if an Indian Prime Minister want to talk to the President of Sri Lanka. So if Indian Prime Minister want to talk to the President of Sri Lanka, in this case, what will happen? Indian Prime Minister is going to ask his secretariat to initiate a process to have a call with Sri Lankan President. So India's PMO is going to make a call to Secretariat of President of Sri Lanka, and in this case, the Secretariat of Indian Prime Minister is going to inform that our Prime Minister want to talk to your President on this matter, and probably on this day and at this time. So accordingly, this information will be conveyed to the President of Sri Lanka, and if Sri Lanka also has certain agenda for that talks, so Sri Lanka will also inform the Indian PMO, Prime Minister's office, that our President also want to talk on this matter. So now the date and time will be fixed. Now these two dignitaries, Indian Prime Minister and President of Sri Lanka, is going to talk on the phone calls. So this is how the phone communication happens between two dignitaries of the world. But in the case of India and Pakistan, all kind of the communication has been cut off. So if the all kind of the communication is being cut off, how these two countries are going to talk to each other? Then a direct conversation without any protocol can be happen. So just like a normal call, you are going to call your friend directly rather than follow that process. So this is called a hotline in the context of diplomatic relations. So this hotline is still active between DGMOs of two countries, whereas other diplomatic channels have been cut off, and especially after Pahalgam attack, all kind of the communication India has cut off from Pakistan. So DGMOs of two countries has spoken over the hotline yesterday, and both have agreed to further decrease the presence of military in the border areas. Yesterday, representative of China and US, they have held a meeting in Switzerland, Geneva. And in this meeting, both parties have agreed to tone down their posture related to tariff escalation. In this context, both countries have agreed to decrease the tariff level on export and import. For example, US have agreed to decrease the tariff to 30% from 145%. on Chinese goods. Similarly, China also agreed to decrease the tariff to 10% from going to more than 150%. So in this way, both countries have agreed, and this agreement of decreasing the tariff is not permanent at yet. They have decreased in order to facilitate the trade talks between these two countries. So this decrease in the tariff is temporary and it will be valid for 30 days, so that in that 30 days both parties can sit and amicably solve this tariff war related issues. However, this event have created a good rhetoric among the financial market around the world, and it was found that all the financial market around the world, they are in the buoyancy, means they are on rise. They become bullish. Earlier they are getting bearish, so they become bullish after this news. So this is a significant news because these two worlds biggest economies, US world's biggest economy and second biggest economy China, they have on the collision of trade war. So if the talk will happen, it will further facilitate the global trade, which will be benefited to all the world, and this is why this event have triggered a wave of bullish in the financial market. Next news is coming from Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin have agreed to talk directly to President Zelensky of Ukraine. Russia-Ukraine war was started in 2022. Since then, there is no direct talks between these two leaders. However, now Zelensky have went for one step forward, and he said that not only direct, I am ready to go for in-person talk with President Putin, and this proposed talk is going to happen in Istanbul. However, Russian side have categorically mentioned that they are ready for direct talks, but they have not mentioned whether this direct talk is going to be happen in person or not. So we have to wait to see whether President Putin is going to participate in this direct talk in person or through other channel. However, as an interesting move, Donald Trump, who is always known for taking credits, he jumped in this and he said that I am ready to offer a mediation during the talks between two leaders, so that the peace should be established on permanent basis. Here in this context, Zelensky and his partners, or we can say that allies in Western Europe, they are more focused on first 30-day truce, whereas Russia is not very keen for 30-day truce or 1 month truce. They are basically looking forward for permanent solution. Some permanent solution should be reached. So this is how the things are progressing between Russia and Ukraine with the mediation of US and credit taker Donald Trump. Donald Trump is again in news. Yesterday he have signed an executive order, and this executive order he called as a historic. Of course, if something is signed by Donald Trump, it is going to be historic. But he have mentioned that it is the rarest of the thing going to happen in the US history. And what is it? That is, he have signed an executive order and he have ordered his authority to make sure US patients, means US citizens who are patient and they are going to purchase a prescribed medicine by a medical practitioner, that prescribed medicine they should get at the same price that medicine which is sold by the drug maker, medicine manufacturer in other country. Means if a drug company which is selling a medicine in UK, for example, at $3, then the same medicine should be sold in US at $3. However, the matter of fact is, at present, the price of the drugs and medicines, and especially prescribed medicines, it is minimum 3 to 4 times in US in comparison to other country. Another fact, global giants of this drug manufacturing, their 75% profit, majority of, I'm not saying all of them, but majority of their profit is coming from US. So in this context, he have taken this initiative. Means, if I'll take this example of that drug which is costing in UK at $3 and costing at $10 in US. Now the drug manufacturer have two options. Either he should decrease the price to $3 in US, or he have to increase the price to $10 in UK. And that is bothering to the global giants who are involved in the manufacturing of medicines, and specifically those medicines which are being prescribed, because this executive order of Donald Trump is focusing on prescribed medicine. In this context, the generic medicine also come into the picture. Before moving forward and to take this scenario in completion, we should understand what is generic medicine. Suppose a company have developed a medicine by doing all the research and each and everything, then that company can register that medicine's patent with the patent organization. Once the company have patented that formula, no other company can use that formula without the permission of this company. Okay? But this patent is valid up to 20 years. Once the 20 years is completed, now any company in the world, by using the same formula, they can manufacture the same medicine with a different brand name. At a point of time, Dolo become a national medicine in India. So the Dolo or paracetamol, they are having same composition, fine, with the different name, because they become a generic medicine. So this generic medicine is very much popular and very much in the use in the developing countries because of its lower cost. Fine? Because only manufacturing cost and some sort of profit is included in the pricing of generic medicine. Whereas non-generic medicine, they do not only include the cost, but all the cost of research and development involved in the manufacturing of that medicine. So this is why generic medicine is in this context. Now, if you will see what Donald Trump has ordered. Donald Trump has ordered the medicine which Americans are purchasing, it should have a parity with the price which is offered by the same company in most favored nation country. So in this context, now the price of that generic medicine which is sold in US, it should be the same price what is sold in India by the same company. Means now that company who is selling the same generic medicine in US and in India, now either they have to decrease the price in US or they have to increase the price in India. If they will increase the price in India, they have to face lot of competition from other companies and they will be out of the market. And if they are going to decrease the price in US, their profitability is going to be severely get impacted. So this has created a dilemma for the drug making companies around the world, and it has triggered a debate and discussion among the drug making companies around the world. So this is why it is almost in the news of all leading newspaper, and we can expect certain more articles, more in-depth article in upcoming days, and we will also discuss this thing again in the detail. But as of right now, this is the situation regarding USA's president's order on the medicine which is prescribed medicine. Central Consumer Protection Authority, which works under Ministry of Consumer Affairs, they came down heavily on certain online platforms. And the context is dark patterns. So what is this dark pattern and why CCPA came down heavily on these online platforms? So suppose you are going to book a ticket for your flight in certain online platform. When you are seeing the price, it was showing 6,300. And you have went for each and everything. And finally, when you have made a payment, at the payment portal, you find that price of the ticket, that is 6,300, but it also includes some 10 rupees, 2 rupees or 5 rupees kind of the thing. and there is no option to decline this additional cost, then you feel that why I should pay. Then they have mentioned in the small letters, they have mentioned this 5 rupees is going for charitable purpose for providing the food to the children who are orphans. For orphans, we are going to arrange the food. And you thought that in a good faith, I should go for it. And you have went for it. But company has not mentioned to which organization, how much money, at what time they are going to pay. That is not declared anywhere in the company's website. So this is one example of dark pattern where companies are going to use this tactic. Consumers generally, while purchasing any product, they will not make too much focus on this small transactions. So automatically they will add. You are booking a ticket and insurance will be automatically added. Though insurance is a matter of solicitation, means it is not being forced. If a person is interested, only then you can give him. But what companies are doing, they will automatically add, and if you will forget that payment, you have to make for that also. So this is a deceptive practice, and this is called a dark pattern, which should not be happen. In this context, CCPA have came down heavily on this online platform and explicitly mentioned that if this practice will be continued, then you should be ready for paying heavy fines. Sarthak Bagchi have wrote one article on editorial page of The Hindu, and this in editorial open edge page. On the open edge page, Sarthak Bagchi have wrote an article, and in this article he has explained the difference between freebies, patronage and clientelism. So he explained what is clientelism. When a political party or a political leader, through his worker of the party, is going to offer voters some cash or some benefit against his vote to him and his political party, this is called clientelism. In this process of clientelism, he is going to offer the benefit if voter is going to vote for him. So the cash is being offered, you have to vote for the political party and that particular person, and whether you have voted or not, that is going to be closely monitored by a party karyakarta or the worker. And this worker is going to make sure that you have followed the pattern. Otherwise, there may be some repercussions. You have to may face wrath of that political party and its political leader. So this is called clientelism. Now he further moved and he explained what is patronage. So patronage, there are certain loyal party workers who are actively involved to gathering the rallies and mobilize the common people for that political party, and they are with the political party for long term. And because they are serving the political party for the long term, when the political party will come to the power, they are being rewarded by a good position at different level. For example, a person may be being rewarded as a governor. And it is a very common practice in India where the patronage happen by offering the party loyalist as a position of governor. Because Indian Constitution do not prescribe any kind of a qualification criteria to be a governor. So this is why many times it is found that the governor is being generally a patronage of that political party. Third thing he has explained is freebies. When a political party, rather than offering to some person or some group of person where the party is doing the clientelism, they are going to offer to selected group who is going to vote. Patronage, they are going to offer to their party loyalist. Whereas under freebies, the political party, without going to be a selective, they are going for everyone. They are going to offer to everyone. For example, distributing cycles in Bihar election, offering the free bus ride in Karnataka and Telangana. So such kind of the benefits are not limited for patronage, or they are not limited for clients only. That is available to all. So in comparison, these three, it is better to go for freebies. However, he further added that freebies are having economic repercussions. Means once government or the political party will offer free things, it will create too much strain on the fiscal health of government. So freebies should be stopped. It should not be go for such an extent. Even Supreme Court have put his opinion that freebies should be limited. RBI consistently in his report have put his concern that freebies should be not like a menace, because it has become a menace in the political party during the election to offering freebies, which is going to severely impact the electoral politics in India and the financial health of the country. Here, Sarthak Bagchi have mentioned that though there is too much talk about freebies, but there is less talk about clientelism and patronage. When we talk about the freebies, we should go for the bigger picture and we should include the talks on clientelism as well as patronage in order to resolve this problem, because it is also a bigger problem where only selected people or selected person is going to be get benefited, and it create a more problem by changing the behavior of a group or putting a person who is loyal to the party, not loyal to the organization, or not basically focusing on his work. So in this context, he has mentioned this article and it is very good one for read. However, I have explained the most important aspect of that article, which is going to help you to understand the broader scenario. Thank you.